Welcome to this explainer, where we're going to unpack the absolutely fascinating Jungbub philosophy on wealth. Today, we're diving deep into the natural laws of money and the real mechanics behind giving back. If you've ever wondered why wealth just seems to magnetically gravitate towards certain people while constantly slipping right through the fingers of others, well, there's actually a highly structured, totally logical answer for that. We're going to look at exactly how to build up your own financial capacity, taking it step-by-step, natural step. So here's our roadmap for today. Section 1 is understanding the Boheng concept. Section 2 covers the 30-70 wealth rule. Then in Section 3, we'll look at scaling your wealth capacity, followed by Section 4 on avoiding the greed trap. And finally, Section 5, a future without money worries.
All right, let's jump right into Section 1, understanding the Boheng concept.
So there's this huge misconception out there that you should give even when you're struggling. People kind of think, hey, if I give away the little bit I have, it's gonna magically fix my tough situation, right? But actually, we need to completely rethink that. It brings up a really critical question. When should you actually practice the act of giving?
Well, the answer might actually surprise you. Boheng is the act of giving back or contributing to society. But, and this is a big but, if you're having a hard time, you absolutely must hold back. Instead, you need to focus entirely on building your own strength first. Why? Well, because if you force yourself to give while your own life is a struggle, human nature dictates you're eventually going to regret it. You'll actually start to resent the act of giving. So true Boheng really only happens when you've had a windfall or experienced genuine success. First things first, build your own foundation.
Moving right along to Section 2, the 30-70 wealth rule.
Okay, so when a good event happens, let's say a big surge in income or some unexpected financial gain, a very specific mathematical ratio comes into play. Exactly 30% is considered nature's share or heaven's share. This is the portion that's meant to be given back via Boheng into your community, your family, or society at large. But meanwhile, you keep the remaining 70% to manage well. You aren't supposed to give it all away. You carefully manage that 70% to continue your own growth, while that 30% acts as your energetic return to the world that supported you. Now, this ratio isn't just some arbitrary number. It's deeply tied to natural economic laws. Money naturally gravitates to those who actually use it correctly. When you take that 30% and put it toward good works, it triggers this amazing echo effect, a natural return of wealth that continuously brings even greater resources back to you. On the flip side, if you misuse your wealth, or if you refuse to acknowledge nature's share, well, those resources will eventually be taken away. Which brings us to Section 3, scaling your wealth capacity. You see, wealth accumulation isn't just some random lottery. It's a journey of expanding your personal capacity, step by natural step. Think of it exactly like climbing a set of stairs. You literally cannot leap from the bottom step all the way to the top floor without falling flat on your face. You have to master the exact step you're currently standing on. Let's break down the specific tiers of this progression. Let's say you're currently at a level where you manage 1 million won, which is roughly a smaller, everyday operating budget. If you manage that flawlessly with zero issues, the natural laws automatically upgrade you. Suddenly, opportunities for 10 million won will cross your path. Handle that smoothly, boom, you unlock the capacity for 100 million won. Master that, and you naturally progress to the 10 billion or even 100 billion won level. It's like the universe is testing your capacity at your current level before entrusting you with the next. And as you prove your ability at each tier, your financial capacity naturally multiplies by roughly 10x. That's massive. And this growth accelerates incredibly fast if you do it right. If you manage your personal finances or your business with absolute integrity at your current step, those subsequent leaps, they happen with astonishing speed. But there's a catch, which we'll cover in Section 4, avoiding the greed trap. There is a really stark contrast between trusting that natural progression and falling for the illusion of a shortcut. When you respect your own capacity, it leads to exponential rewards and, importantly, securely protected wealth. But you've got to beware of the trap, those chaotic get-rich-quick schemes that promise instant yields of, say, 1 trillion won to people who barely have the capacity to manage a tiny fraction of that. Because attempting to skip the stairs out of pure greed is going to cause you to lose even the resources you currently hold. If you fall for these massive illusions and throw all your current capital, even your basic travel expenses, into them, you will literally end up chased out onto the streets, totally empty-handed. Nature simply retracts your wealth if you let greed override your steady, step-by-step growth.
So, how do you actually protect yourself? Well, you practice radical self-awareness. If someone pitches you a massive multi-billion-dollar scheme and you know you're currently at the million-dollar capacity stage, the right response is to confidently say, you know what, I do not yet have the strength or capacity for this, so I must decline. By practicing that kind of brutal honesty, nature will actually actively protect you and your wealth. And that leads us to our final part today, Section 5, A Future Without Money Worries. There is a very clear, proven timeline to follow here. Starting from right now, today, your absolute only job is building your personal strength and mastering your current financial tier. Period. Then, in the next phase, as success inevitably starts to come your way, you implement the 30-70 rule, giving 30% back through Boheng. If you follow this disciplined path, you hit a pretty incredible milestone, achieving total financial freedom within exactly 1 decade. By adhering strictly to these natural laws, and by growing and sharing our progress as a community, living entirely without financial anxiety becomes a very real reality within 10 years. It's a bold vision for sure, but it shifts your focus away from all that desperate, chaotic hustling and aligns you calmly and confidently with the actual natural laws of money.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want you to ask yourself something. Are you ready to stop chasing illusions? Really think about where you currently stand on that staircase of capacity. Are you trying to leap forward 5 steps out of greed, or are you actually focused on mastering the exact step you're on right now? Remember, wealth isn't just about accumulating money. It's about building the internal capacity to hold it and having the wisdom to share it when the time is right. Master your current level and just let the natural laws handle the rest. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.